Hey garden fam, welcome back to The Sprout. Today we're talking about one of the happiest, easiest, most forgiving flowers you can grow in your garden, cosmos. If you've ever wanted a flower that just works without a lot of fuss, this is it. Cosmos are those tall, airy flowers with daisy-like blooms in pink, white, purple, orange, and red. They wave in the breeze, they attract butterflies and bees, and they bloom from early summer all the way until the first frost. Seriously, they just keep going. The best part? Cosmos are almost foolproof. You don't need fancy soil, you don't need to fertilize, you don't need to baby them. In fact, they actually do better when you're a little bit lazy. I'm not kidding. Cosmos thrive on neglect. If you're a beginner gardener, start with Cosmos. If you've killed plants before, Cosmos will restore your confidence. They are that easy. In this video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know. The different types of Cosmos, planting, sun requirements, watering, soil, fertilizing, deadheading, staking, saving seeds, common problems, and how to keep them blooming until fall. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about what Cosmos actually are. Cosmos is a genus of about 25 species of annual and perennial flowers native to Mexico, Central America, and South America. The two most common species you'll find in gardens are Cosmos bipinnatus and Cosmos sulphureus. Cosmos bipinnatus is the one with feathery, fern-like leaves and flowers in shades of pink, white, purple, and red. Cosmos sulphureus has slightly stiffer leaves and flowers in bright yellows, oranges, and reds. Both are absolutely stunning. Most Cosmos are grown as annuals, which means they complete their life cycle in one season. You plant them in spring, they bloom all summer, and they die with the frost. But here's the great news. Cosmos self-seed like crazy, so if you let a few flowers go to seed at the end of the season, you'll get new plants next year without doing anything. Free flowers. Let's start with sun requirements. Cosmos love sun. They need full sun. That means at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight every single day. In most of the United States, more sun equals more flowers. If you plant Cosmos in too much shade, you'll get tall, floppy plants with very few blooms. The stems will stretch toward the light and the plant won't look full and beautiful. So find your sunniest spot. That's where Cosmos belong. In very hot climates like Texas, Arizona, or Florida, Cosmos can handle a little afternoon shade, but they still need plenty of sun to bloom well. Now let's talk about soil. This is where Cosmos really shine. Cosmos are not picky about soil. In fact, they prefer soil that is not too rich. Here's the counterintuitive truth. If you plant Cosmos in very fertile, rich soil, you'll get huge plants with lots of leaves and very few flowers. Cosmos bloom best in average, well-draining soil that's not too high in nutrients. They can handle poor soil, sandy soil, rocky soil, just about anything except heavy clay that stays wet. Good drainage is important. Cosmos do not like wet feet. If your soil is heavy clay, amend it with compost or sand to improve drainage. But honestly, Cosmos are so forgiving that they'll usually figure it out. Let's talk about planting. The best time to plant Cosmos is in spring, after the last frost has passed. Soil temperature should be at least 60 degrees Fahrenheit. You have two options. You can start seeds indoors 4 to 6 weeks before the last frost, or you can direct sow seeds outdoors after the last frost. Direct sowing is super easy. Here's how to do it. Choose a sunny spot with well-draining soil. Scatter the seeds on the soil surface and press them in lightly. Cosmos seeds need light to germinate, so don't bury them. Just press them into the soil or cover them with a very thin layer of soil, no more than 1/8 of an inch deep. Space your seeds about 12 to 18 inches apart. If you're planting multiple rows, space the rows 2 to 3 feet apart. Thin the seedlings to 12 to 18 inches apart when they're a few inches tall. Overcrowding leads to poor air circulation and fewer flowers. If you're planting nursery starts, dig a hole the same depth as the pot, place the plant in and backfill with soil. Water well after planting. Now let's talk about watering. Cosmos are drought tolerant once established. That's one of their best features. Here's my rule. Water regularly until the seedlings are established and growing well. After that, water only when the top inch of soil feels dry. In most gardens, that means watering about once a week. In hot, dry weather, you might need to water twice a week. Here's the secret to cosmos. They actually bloom better when they're a little bit stressed from lack of water, so don't overwater. Don't baby them. Let the soil dry out between waterings. Overwatering will produce tall, floppy plants with fewer flowers. And always water at the base of the plant, not overhead. Wet leaves can lead to fungal diseases. Let's talk about fertilizer. This is simple. Don't fertilize cosmos. I'm serious. Cosmos do not need fertilizer. In fact, fertilizer encourages leaf growth at the expense of flowers. If your soil is extremely poor, you can mix in a little compost at planting time, but that's it. No additional fertilizer, no high nitrogen plant food, just leave them alone. If you forget this one rule, you'll have gorgeous green plants with almost no flowers. Now let's talk about staking and support. Cosmos can grow quite tall. Depending on the variety, they can reach 3 to 6 feet in height. Taller varieties often need staking to keep them from flopping over, especially in windy areas or if they're planted in too much shade. Here's what you can do. Insert bamboo stakes or other supports into the ground at planting time. As the cosmos grow, loosely tie the stems to the stakes with soft twine or plant ties. Alternatively, plant your cosmos in groups or blocks so they support each other. If you don't want to deal with staking at all, choose dwarf varieties that only grow 12 to 18 inches tall. Those are perfect for containers and small gardens. Let's talk about deadheading. Deadheading means removing spent flowers. This is important for keeping your cosmos blooming all season long. When a flower fades and dies, pinch or cut it off at the base of the flower stem. Do this regularly throughout the blooming season. Deadheading does two things. It makes the plant look tidier, and it encourages the plant to produce more flowers instead of putting energy into making seeds. If you stop deadheading in late summer or early fall, you can let the last flowers go to seed. Those seeds will drop and give you new plants next year. So deadhead all season, then stop a few weeks before your first expected frost. Now let's talk about the different varieties. There are so many beautiful cosmos varieties. Here are some favorites. For classic pink and white cosmos, try Purity with pure white flowers, or Sensation with pink and white blooms. For bright oranges and yellows, Cosmos Sulphureus varieties like Bright Lights and Lemon Twist are stunning. For unique colors, Apricot Lemonade has peachy yellow blooms, Rubenza has deep red that ages to burgundy, and Xanthos has soft yellow flowers. For dwarf varieties that don't need staking, try Sonata series or Dwarf Mix. These are perfect for containers and small gardens. For dramatic, almost double flowers, Double Click series has ruffled, semi-double blooms in rose, cranberry, and white. Now let's talk about common problems. Good news, cosmos don't have many problems, but let's go through them. Problem 1. Tall, floppy plants with few flowers. Too much shade, too much water, or too much fertilizer. Move to sunnier spot, water less, and stop fertilizing. Problem 2. Yellow leaves. Usually overwatering or poor drainage. Let the soil dry out. Problem 3. Powdery mildew. This looks like white powder on the leaves. It's caused by high humidity and poor air circulation. Water at the base of the plant, not overhead. Space plants for good airflow. Remove affected leaves. Problem 4. Aster yellows. This is a disease spread by leafhoppers. The signs are distorted, yellowish-green flowers and stunted growth. There's no cure. Remove and destroy infected plants immediately to prevent spread. Problem 5. Pests. Cosmos can get aphids, spider mites, and thrips. Aphids cluster on new growth and buds. Spray them off with water or use insecticidal soap. Spider mites love dry conditions. Increase humidity around the plants and use neem oil. For severe infestations, use a horticultural oil or insecticidal soap. Problem 6, no germination from seeds. Cosmos seeds need light to germinate. Make sure you didn't bury them too deep. Just press them into the soil surface. Let me give you a few quick answers to common questions. Are cosmos annuals or perennials? Most cosmos are grown as annuals, but they self-seed so readily that they often come back year after year. Can I grow cosmos in containers? Yes, absolutely. Use a pot at least 12 inches deep with drainage holes. Use dwarf varieties for best results. Do cosmos attract pollinators? Yes. Bees, butterflies, and other beneficial insects love cosmos. They're excellent for pollinator gardens. How tall do cosmos get? Depending on variety, from 12 inches to 6 feet. When should I cut back cosmos in fall? After the first frost kills the plants, you can cut them back to the ground, or leave them for winter interest and cut back in early spring. Can I use cosmos as cut flowers? Yes, cosmos make excellent cut flowers. Cut the stems when the flowers are just opening, early in the morning. They'll last about a week in a vase. Let's wrap everything up. Cosmos are one of the easiest, most rewarding flowers you can grow. Give them full sun, at least 6 to 8 hours. Plant in average, well-draining soil that's not too rich. Water only when the top inch of soil is dry. They're drought tolerant. Do not fertilize. Deadhead spent flowers to keep them blooming. Stake tall varieties or choose dwarf varieties. Save seeds at the end of the season for free plants next year. Here's the most important thing to remember. Cosmos thrive on neglect. Don't overwater, don't fertilize, don't hover. Just give them sun, a little water when they're young, and then let them do their thing. They will reward you with months of beautiful, airy flowers that make your garden look like a meadow. These are the flowers that make you look like a gardening expert, even if you have no idea what you're doing. If you grow cosmos in your garden, let me know in the comments. What color do you grow? Pink, orange, white? Post a picture. I'd love to see your garden. And if you're new to The Sprout, hit subscribe. We put out new gardening videos every week. No plant shaming, just real tips for real gardeners. Thanks for watching. Take care of your garden and it will take care of you. See you in the next video.
Following up on the excellent point about soil pH, cosmos, like carnations, prefer neutral to slightly alkaline soil, pH 6.0 to 7.5. In very acidic soil, they'll still grow, but you might get more leaves than flowers. If your soil is acidic, a little garden lime before planting helps. Thanks for the thoughtful comments. This stuff matters. And hey, if you've ever wondered why some plants just won't grow in your soil even when you do everything right, tomorrow I'm posting a video all about soil pH, acid-loving plants, alkaline-loving plants, how to test your soil and fix it. You don't want to miss it.